Hey, y'all. And welcome to The World is on Fire. The shit's ghetto. And we ready to get up out of here.
Where are we going?
That's the problem because I can't take my
Steven.
sewing machines with me. Um,
That's the real part.
look. But hey, y'all, welcome back to the Audacity podcast where we have all your things audacious, creativity, sewing, and a little bit of tea here and there.
A
I
bit
am one of your hosts, Julian of Julian Creates.
and his eye, Aronica from Needle in the Bell,
Come
aka
on.
B. Cole, aka,
But Needle in the Bay also sound cute. That could be a
that
series.
that did sound real cute, right?
Right. That could be a series. Um, but y'all, so our bads for not being here last week. But again, we are living in a hellscape.
Yeah.
Um, and life was lifing and has continued to life. We want to take a moment first and foremost to send off well wishes and healing thoughts to one of the members of the sewing community, one of the prominent members, Terrence of Terrence Williams Designs, who um, went through an attack this week and had to have surgery after being shot.
Yes.
So definitely, we are so glad that he had surgery. This seemed to be in now the process of recovering, but know that we are sending him love and well wishes, and I got him. We gonna make this work out, and also vengeance is mine, said the Lord, and let the Lord fight that battle because the Lord about to be up in somebody's ass about that one.
Yeah. And I know that many people do know Terrence. He has specifically asked for us to just give him the thoughts and the prayers and let
Yes,
that be the contact that we give to him as he is on the road to recovery. Um,
yes.
Also very important to note that he is a survivor, that he is not a victim, that this
Oh,
guy is
absolutely.
out here going to be, we are speaking into existence that he will make a full recovery.
And he
Um,
will be back in his little booty shorts and
Yogging around Texas,
yes, and doing the little booty facials and everything in no
all
time.
of those things. Yes.
He will be back better than ever. Um,
Mhm. He'll be like Bionic Terrence.
look, look, look,
Hmm.
ready to throw it in everybody's circle. How about that?
Okay. In a circle, in a square, in an oval.
Right.
Yes.
In a decahedron or something.
Yeah. Not a dodecahedron. But in all seriousness,
Yes.
we do wish him well. And, violence is not something that we support at all. And we do hope that the person or persons who are responsible for this are brought to justice because this is intolerable behavior. Um,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah.
So definitely we just wanted to start that off for the week. And we send our prayers, positive thoughts and vibes, and as he just heals through this process.
Yes.
But
Yes.
again, also it just adds to the whole hellscape of the world. So, cause we haven't talked to y'all
Whew.
and that's all we're gonna say since. Um, last week I was not okay.
Mm.
I was not okay, and I did not realize how not okay I was until I just really
Hmm.
I I don't I think I was also had a little bout of sickness. Like I had an inner ear thing, was just dizzy
Mm.
for a little bit. And my ear still ain't fully unclogged. I don't know what's going on there.
Okay.
Um, but like literally days of sleeping were needed. Um, with no there's no rhyme, reason, or answer. Just
Yeah.
needed sleep. And then your teeth decided to show their ass.
Listen, the I tell you what, a crown can fall off, but one thing about us, we gonna adjust the crown no matter what, whether it's on the head or the
And
peak.
keep it moving.
But
And keep it moving.
yeah, and I know, so I tried out mint dentistry, and
Mm-hmm.
they are not just local to Georgia. They are, I believe, all over the place now.
Yep,
And
I have
I
one
do
here.
want to say that I've had a really fantastic experience, and I don't know if this is something that they do, or if they are kind of enforcing the quality of care. But I will say that, like the dentist who I worked with while these past couple of I've been there 3 times getting this fit in my mouth properly.
Hmm.
She has been nothing but welcoming, loving, caring, nurturing, and wanting to make sure that I have the utmost comfort. And that has healed a lot of that dental trauma that I have navigated. Because I feel like many of us have a lot of shame as it pertains to dental work, dentistry, in addition to fear, phobia, etc. And I do think that there are some of the younger dentists that are working to get rid of that. And I am
Hmm.
very, very grateful that I had the opportunity to experience that with a dentist.
Well, that's good. And so though, Lord, because I've never had a crown. I just had my first cavity
Oh
this
my God,
past
what does
year.
it feel like to be God's favorite?
You know what? You know what? And it
I
was
do
in a
know what.
wisdom tooth. It was in a wisdom tooth. And I didn't.
Wow, you have your wisdom teeth still?
Yeah. Hmm.
Wow. That's why
Hmm.
your intros and outros will be so fire.
You know what? But like, finding somebody, like finding good people that you can vibe with and stuff like that is
Yeah,
important. I was actually supposed to go to the dentist last week, and it was in the midst of the spins, and I'm like, well, no, we're not doing that, so I need to
yeah,
reschedule.
yeah.
Um,
What we're not about to do is be playing in my mouth.
while I'm already just no,
Mhm.
no, but I feel better. We're better. Again, we realize that, we've always bounced back,
Yep.
and sometimes you just need a moment to regroup,
Hmm.
reevaluate, and then be like, okay, you know what, I got you. Now let me show you. Come on, little doggy, little puppy, just walking through.
So, in case you guys have missed it, I got a puppy and he has magic. I didn't know that he was in my office for our recording today, and I do feel like he's about to go to the bathroom, which he is. It's fine. Um, and I saw something sneak behind me, and then I turned and I looked, and it's
Uh-huh.
little ass walking around, waking up from a nap. Um, and here's the thing, he is absolutely my dog, right? Like
He
I'm the
is.
one cleaning up all the poop, the pee, etc. Except for my husband, because my husband was like awake one night and I was just like, dude, why are you awake? And you're about to get this dog up. And he definitely had to wake up with the dog. But I'm not gonna lie, I have been enjoying life as his owner, and I do love him so much. He is quite literally the cutest little thing, though he poops a lot. So there's
Oh,
that.
there's that. There's that.
Lots of
There's
poops
that.
right now.
Little
We
baby.
gotta hold on. You know what? Here's the thing. We gotta hold on to the bits of joy that we can. Although,
Yes.
let me ask you this, Terrence. I'm sorry, Julian, because Terrence is still top of mind right now for me because I'm still in shock that that happened to him.
Yeah.
Julian, let me ask you this, and I'm putting you on the spot because we did not discuss this beforehand.
Hmm.
Do you have an am I the asshole?
I do not have an am I the asshole
Mm.
today. Because again, life was life, and the world is an asshole and been an asshole.
Oops.
Let's be real. Let's be
Oops,
real about
clocked
it.
it. That's what these kids be saying today, right? Clocked it.
Because
Yeah,
yeah. So that is it. That is it.
yeah.
Um, we just coming on and we coming on as humbly as we can with what we got. Which ain't
Oh,
much.
literally. I feel like it's hard to I feel like it's so hard to be like business as usual, right? Whenever
Hmm.
things happen in the world, happen in the greater world, or happen in our world, and
Hmm.
function as though like we can just be like, oh, and so I'm gonna hop back into sewing it, you know what I mean? Without acknowledging certain things, right? Because I do actually feel like this election is going to hit the sewing community in a different type of way, right? Because we're seeing, or we're hearing the president-elect refer to tariffs, refer to increasing taxes, refer to
Hmm.
um, the additions of these costs for the things that we use, right? So we ship,
Yes.
or rather, we purchase from overseas. Shout out to some of my favorites, the
Yes.
Fabric Godmother. Shout out to, of course, Minerva. Shout out to,
Yes.
some of these other places that we are purchasing from that are not based in the United States. That's if we're buying directly. But of course, the people who we even buy from here typically buy wholesale from
Right.
overseas as well. And so, that can be a little nerve-wracking, especially because our economy is currently in such a shaky place, right?
Hmm.
And so it is so hard to just go back to being like, oh, I'm gonna go fabric shopping or I'm gonna go and make this and blah 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 blah.
And especially if you're trying
That's
to be
just
sustainable,
that
you
part.
can't be sustainable right now when there is a panic that it there is a mind shift to finality in many ways. And I've said it in my stories, like, hey, if you've been thinking about buying sewing machines and stuff like that,
Do it now.
now is the time. Now is the time. Not
Mhm.
only are there Black Friday sales, I know Bernina's having their Black Friday sale that's about to start, with deals on sergers, on sewing machines, on embroidery machines. Burnett has them. Like, there are machines for sale, but this is the time to do that, because a lot of our machines from any company is not made in America.
Yeah.
Or even if it were to be assembled in America, most of the pieces are not from America. So with that being the case, there is going to be that understanding that you need to understand that prices might change. I mean, they just announced, we're recording this today on the 19th, on Tuesday the 19th, that I think it is Lowe's and Walmart have put out notices saying like, hey, our prices might have to go up,
Yeah.
uh, on things. So we just need to start being prepared for that, um, and ready. And again, I work in public health. I work in kind of philanthropy and different things like that. And from a perspective of advocacy and everything like that, it's like there's no escaping it from any space in my life. So it took me a minute. Like, I didn't sew as I usually sew. Y'all know I'll be out here doing whatever. But even before the election, like a week before till now, it just kind of there was this anxiousness. Y'all, I mean, understand that I be stressed buying. I made my biggest ass stressed by purchase, technically. I bought a car. I
I
bought a
mean,
car.
that's one
I,
way to
I
stress.
needed the car, but did I expect to, like, hey, I'm about to do this today? No, not at all. Um, but I like my car. I'm excited about it. I bought through Carvana. Literally, it was by buying a car on Amazon. I will never go into a car lot again. Never.
I gotta be honest, I'm a little jealous of that experience, especially knowing that you didn't end up having to test drive a bunch of stuff and kind of do all of these extra things, right?
Right.
A little jealous about that. And you look so cute driving your little car.
Mm-hmm.
You be out there looking all cute and stuff in your car.
And
So
I could wear a bun, a man bun in my car,
put it in a
because I
bun.
could not do that before in my old car. Um, so yeah, um, that type of stuff is like, that's just usually that is a coping mechanism that used to work. It's like I
Yeah.
need a dopamine hit and I will buy something. But it's sad because also, like, spiritually, I'm just not in the same space to do that. It does not hit the way that it used to hit. So I think that's also causing, like, issues in the world, issues to hit harder for
Oh yeah.
me,
Oh yeah.
because the things that I used to go to, either healthy or unhealthy, no longer, I've grown out of them and no longer suit me. But I have not found the things to discover what do.
Mm.
So with that, it leads to, like, just lingering feelings and just having to sit with feelings and acknowledge them. Um, which ain't easy. Y'all, getting old is hard. And it's not even old in age, but also just mentally and
Yeah.
spiritually. Because there's an understanding that lessons need to be learned. And sadly, these lessons are not easy just to, like, okay, let me take this test real fast. Oh yeah, it's gonna be like, open note, open book. It's not academic. These are life lessons, and
Those
they
life lessons
suck.
be hitting so hard, man.
They suck ass. But we are here. We are better today. Taking in what we need to do. We are back to sewing. Actually, I am working on, my birthday is next week, so I'm working on a look for my birthday.
Yes.
And technically, I'm killing two birds with one stone because this is also my first Minerva project.
Mhm.
Um, so this is a lot. It's a lot of luck. It's a lot,
Fantastic already.
but it's a lot of luck. Um, but yeah, so that should be done in the next few days, and then just work. I mean, like I was looking at my calendar. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Even tomorrow, um, from I have like a half day training on public speaking. Then I have to go collect stories for Trans Day of Resilience and Remembrance.
Uh-huh.
And then I have a work dinner to attend. I'm like, y'all, why are we doing this the week before Thanksgiving? I'm done with work for the year. Y'all need to stop. Quit. You need
Are you
to
taking
quit.
like the month of December off still?
Not the whole month. I probably will take from like maybe the 15th on, maybe. Like so, or like we have a board meeting at work, and then probably after that board meeting, I will be off.
Okay. Okay.
So I think the board meetings is like the 11th. So usually probably like after the 11th on, I will be off.
Mm-hmm. So one
Uh,
of the questions that I have been asked, just kind of
mm-hmm,
like, and I don't even know if we have the answer for it,
mm-hmm,
right? Like I think that Delulu is my Salulu.
mm-hmm,
Um, but one of the questions that I have been asked, and it was brought up by our dear friend Frank.
mm-hmm,
Also, Frank, I love you. Anyway, um, was how sewing helps with the self-care, the sanity, etc., after something devastating happens. Um, like I know for me, and of course for me, like I I live in a red state, right?
mm-hmm,
Granted, my counties and surrounding counties are blue. And so for me, things are a little scary. Like the other day at school, someone called my son a big back monkey. Um, and
Oh,
these things,
do I need to drive down?
listen, and and here's the thing, and it's hard for me, right? Because the last time this happened is right when I got pregnant with him. And it's amazing to me that my son is the happy-go-lucky little boy that he is because I was depressed when I was pregnant with him.
Mm,
Because in my head, I was like, how could I possibly bring a little boy into a world that has been designed to hate him and that has been designed to destroy him, you know?
mm-hmm,
Um, of course, as Black women, I actually do agree that we are the most hated and mistreated in the world, right? Um, but I love Black men, right? Like I'm raising a Black man. I was raised by a Black man. I love my Black husband, right?
mm-hmm,
Two of my closest friends are Black men, right?
mm-hmm,
Um, and it is hard. But I told myself that this year I was not allowing that to steal my joy because I struggled so hard and I still had to raise children and I still had to be a wife and I still had to make home and I still had to make house and I still had to work and I still had to earn a living and I still had to key with people who I didn't know if they supported my life or my children's lives, you know.
right.
Um, and so I know that even being asked that question, you know, sometimes I wish that I was more delusional, right?
Mm-hmm,
Um, but you know, I've been asked, like, does sewing help with you navigating? Um, and I know for me, it does in some sense, right? Because like
mm-hmm,
I'm able to turn on my favorite thing now. And I know that people have been doing this for forever, but my favorite thing to do now is turn on an audiobook and just get lost in the sauce and just have a good time and forget what world I'm in, right? So
right.
literally being delusional to where I am, also known as getting a baby puppy, like not just a puppy, but like a 4 week old puppy,
A
right?
baby, baby.
A
That's a
baby,
baby.
so that I could be woken up in the middle of the night. And
Mm-hmm.
you know what
Still
I'm
got
saying?
milk on his breath.
Listen, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're gonna fall off the deep end, like fall hard. Like
All the way off. Yes.
yeah,
Like,
I mean, like let's not like mess around about it. But what are some of the things that sewing is helping you with? Like, is it helping? You know what I mean? Like, give us the deets,
So
give
for
us the
me,
download.
the first few things that I made, I needed easy.
Mhm.
I know it is new pattern November, and I can't say I've made a lot of new because I
Shame
didn't.
on you.
I
JK,
know,
JK.
but it's okay. Um, because I did not have the bandwidth and capacity
Yeah,
to do that. Um, I needed not to prep a lot of stuff. I needed to sew.
yeah,
For me, like having my hands at the sewing machine, that tactile feeling of the sewing piece is what I needed to help calm. For me, a lot of times sewing can be very meditative, like just sitting at the machine, hearing the hum of the machines and stuff like that. Pulling out a vintage machine because that hums differently without the high pitched noise of
yeah.
electronic machines because I'm weird like that. Um, so doing that helped me. So I made some button ups. Button ups
And
was
I saw that. I saw you over here talking about somehow like button up is and jeans should be your uniform.
it really should. It really should. It just that's where I'm going. So doing that type of stuff really helped. Sharing the process and helping to redefine my community and like in a way tapping back in, especially sadly, I mean, like we are more present in the greater sewing community of things, you know?
Yeah.
And sadly, this whole season we have found out that some of those we were for were not for us. Okay. So and sadly some kinfolk ain't skin folk, or
Mm,
some skin folk ain't kinfolk. And we have differing agendas, which is fine. I do what you do. May the Lord watch, because somebody got to watch because I don't trust you no more. Um, but like needing a moment to refigure out how I can show up was necessary for me, and
yeah.
the sewing of that helped in that process of me figuring out, okay, how can I come back in this
Hmm.
and show up in a way that I find um, to be beneficial, and also speaks to my goals of what I want to put in the world. Um, and that took a lot because sadly, I try to show up and be happy and hopeful and be of the light, and it's hard to do that when you don't feel the light at that moment.
Hmm.
And I think this year has just been a hard it's been a hard period to try to show up and be the light.
Yeah.
Um, just even in my own life. So this did not this ain't help nothing. This ain't aid anything to start, but I'm in a better place. So I feel like I can come back and be that again,
Hmm.
and figuring out like where I feel like I can best be utilized and best tap in.
Yeah.
Um, and really, I think that was really just kind of where I'm at now. It's like, how can I tap in? And one of the things that I just keeps on coming to mind for me is who's teaching the babies? Like
Mm,
who's really holding them, holding space, helping to nurture, um, in a world that does not. Um, and I think that is where my mind and my heart in many ways is going, like, okay, who's helping the babies, how are we making sure that the villages are built, because
yeah.
that's what's going to need to happen. That's where we are now,
Yeah.
is that we need to make sure that the villages are built for the babies.
Yeah. And that's really, really important. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that that's really good point, right? Because um, while yes, it does take a village to raise a child, but it also takes a village to nurture a parent. It takes a
Mm-hmm.
village to help heal, right?
Right.
Also in these uncertain times, like you said, like you've got to know who to trust. And I feel like it can be very jarring when you find out that people who you thought you could trust are actually what the kids call ops now, right?
Child, look, them ops.
Exactly.
And the
That can
sad thing is, I realized that how like there were guttural reactions to the ops
Yeah.
that I was finding. Like literally, I in my own house, praise the Lord, I wasn't out because I was cussing. I was calling people everything but a child of God in my own house.
Yes.
Just out of sheer just it was rage and anger.
Yeah.
And I don't usually operate in those rage and anger spaces. Um,
Mm,
and sadly, some of that is related to the people, the sewing community right now, the place that I find as safety, and people don't see me as
yeah.
such.
Yeah.
So, but day by day, today
Yeah.
is a better day than it had. Like, every day gets a little bit better. And every day I come back and find my joy. Right now is working on vintage patterns
Yeah.
because that's usually where I find joy. Now, am I also frustrated that so also during the stupor of trying to just stay occupied and busy, did I also figure out that a whole bunch of my like vintage patterns don't work for me no more? I did.
Oh
Am I
man.
am I pissed about it? I am. But, here we are. Such is life.
Yeah.
Such is life. But ooh, child, I was 10 karat hot about that. How about that?
It's like a
10.
double-edged sword, right? Because it's like on the one hand, and of course, if you're new to this, if you're new to finding out this information that we are sharing right now on the show, both Julian and I have been on I don't want to say it's just specifically a weight loss journey. It's
Mm-hmm.
more about health and wellness than anything. Uh,
Right.
and we have both lost a significant amount of weight. Um, it just releasing, like, I am no longer pre-diabetic. My kidneys are top tier. My cholesterol has lowered. So, like, there has been a myriad of health problems that have been resolved um, as such.
Right.
And one of the other things is that, like, of course, weight loss for me is definitely the side effect, which honestly, and I part of me has conflicting feelings about this, right? Because like I hate that the plus size body is one that is consistently under scrutiny, right?
Right.
Like we are told that no matter what, we're not good enough. If you are fat, then you're fat and lazy, right?
Right.
Or you're just simply told that the only way that you need to lose weight is just by calories in versus calories out. And it's like, okay, but what if my body is missing some of the things that it needs to process these things the right way? Then it's like, oh, that's just an excuse. Okay, cool. Then we see that there's currently the war on Ozempic and other drugs, right? And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, well, if you use those drugs, then you're cheating. And it's like, okay, but you were just telling me that I was too fat and you were concerned for my health. But
Right.
now that I'm making these different decisions where my health ends up being fantastic, but now I'm a cheater
Right.
and
Amen.
my weight loss should not be celebrated. I just feel like we are like, no matter what we do, it's like, and I actually just reposted something to my stories that was talking about how it's like, oh, is being skinny back in. And, I think that that's a really great conversation to have because, of course, we're seeing plus size models talk about how they're not plus size jobs anymore. And then there is Samira, who has been talking about going into the stores to see what plus sizes are available and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So there's just so much going on as far as that goes. But like to what Julian is talking about, his patterns don't fit him because he's lost a significant amount of weight.
Yeah.
And like, I just published a YouTube video talking about like my new pattern November update. And I'm like, I gotta focus on pants because my pants don't fit me anymore.
Right.
Uh, and that's, a lot of the area that I'm seeing a lot of my weight loss in as well, because, my waistline is coming down, which of course is actually a sign of increased health.
Right.
So I feel you, man. Like now I take a look at a lot of my patterns. In fact, I actually went through my patterns, my commercial patterns yesterday while I was FaceTiming with Julian
Mm-hmm.
and just got rid of a bunch, not because they didn't fit, but some because they don't fit anymore.
Right.
Because I have moved out of that size range. Again, fantastic problem to have, but also it's like, whoa, uh, I felt like getting rid of all these because, of course, with commercial patterns, it's not like you. you get all the sizes when you make the purchase.
Right. And that is where I am. Um, you know, I even in my favorite part of my pattern collection is vintage.
Right.
And I am a lot of my vintage patterns were at other sizes that I'm no longer at. I'm currently using a vintage stretch and sew pattern right now. And I made it to my measurements. My measurements have me at the smallest size available, which is still something I'm like, how is this possible? Like, I don't see myself as that small. But literally, I'm working on something that currently is a size 36
Wow.
chest. Um, and because that is my current measurement. And if you've seen like even my own patterns with Nomi, technically are 38. So like figuring out what I'm about to do. Um, or even just finding other pattern companies that I can now like shop at because technically in many cases I'm at the smallest size offered.
Mm.
So which is new. What is new? Um so you know, day by day, it's a
Drafting.
huh?
I said, I guess that means someone needs to be drafting.
I mean that we do, and we are. We are. We are. Thank you for that. Uh-huh. Um, but yeah, it's a different problem to have. But even in drafting, think about it. I can draft for myself, but
Mhm.
if I want to produce for other people, I'm not a standard size anymore. Or I'm almost like understand that I'm almost at the size of a little kid for some people.
Mm.
And I'm like, that is just like it's just here I am literally turning 30, 38. Lord Jesus, forgot my own damn
Having to
age.
figure out how old you're turning.
Had to think about it for a second. Next week. And having to like, I'm out here basically competing for clothes with teeny boppers. So
You know what?
if y'all see me out here in a little baby top, don't say nothing.
Stop it. Stop it.
I'm gonna be out here in a little crop
But you
top.
know what? And here's the thing, right? When we talk about size inclusivity, this is the other part of it, though, right?
True.
Um,
Absolutely.
because sizing inclusivity in sizing does not just mean plus sizes, right? Inclusivity in sizes also means like having the very small size
Hmm.
range represented as well. It also
Hmm.
means making sure that maybe there are different types of directions or different adjustments that can be made for people who have different disabilities, who are wheelchair bound, or who are using braces and that sort of thing, right?
Right.
That's what inclusivity speaks to. It's not just about being plus size or black or
Excuse me.
white, right? That's not what it's only about. Yes, like I know that I typically speak up for and stand for plus sizes. Julian
Hmm.
stands for having men's sizes included, right?
Hmm.
But yeah, that's what it's important. And I feel like this conversation is like really all over the place. But honestly, I feel like that's also where we are in life too. So
It
you're welcome
is,
for the
but
ride.
let's be real about it, because that's how we usually start, and that's how we usually end up. Is just kind of we start one place and end up someplace else. So y'all know this.
Right. It's true.
Y'all ain't new to this. Y'all new to this. Um, but yeah, how is it like? How is sewing helping you? How are
Um,
you tapping in?
you know what makes me really happy is
Hmm.
taking projects that I typically, I don't want to say that I wouldn't do, but that I would shy away from and
Hmm.
actually completing them. So like, um, I did the Sarah Curve jeans, which
Hmm.
are the barrel jeans, and I did it just in like one sitting. Um, and like people were like, "Oh yeah, I was too preoccupied," and I was like, "I was too," but this was what I was occupied with or what I chose. And not even that they were particularly hard, but I feel like a lot of times I will hype a project up just based off of the amount of pattern pieces that it has, right?
Hmm.
It'll be like, oh, you know what? I don't even have the capacity for like 15 pattern pieces, which is aggressive amount of fucking pattern pieces, y'all. Like that's a lot of pattern pieces. But I feel like kind of deep diving into some of those projects has helped me to kind of sort through things, right? And I'm not
Mhm.
gonna lie, like I've definitely had my moments of weakness. I feel like I would be, I don't want to say I would be less concerned, right? But I would not be as um I wouldn't have the moments of feeling frantic if it wasn't for my kids, right?
Mhm.
Um, because I've got daughters, I think of in the event that, something happens where they are violated and then they become pregnant and now they're stuck with a baby that was not part of their plan, right?
Right.
Or
Absolutely.
having to have the conversations with both of my daughters who were 10 and 14, like, hey, listen, like, I understand that it can be tempting to go ahead and engage in these acts, but listen, if something happens and you end up pregnant, there is not much that mommy can do, you know?
Right.
Um, and I think it's important that they know that because as much as I do try to, of course, help out where I can and do what I can as far as, protecting them and things like that, there's always going to be that limit now, right? Because in the
Absolutely.
event of pregnancy, there again, there's a limit to what I can do. There's just that limit.
Absolutely.
And so, it's been a lot of trying to figure out what I can do versus focusing on my controllables, right? I had that
Right.
conversation with my husband today, not today, but over the weekend. We had an impromptu date and we were talking and I was like, I'm really just trying to focusing on my controllables and the things that I can do as opposed to what I
Mhm.
can't.
Definitely, the serenity prayer really did help me. And connecting back with that and connecting back with Psalms. Psalms 23, the Lord is my shepherd. Like those kind of helped in that process, but grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I did add a little something else to it, and in the fortitude to do what needs to be done. It's something I added to it
That's big. That fortitude, big.
because I think we're at a point now where literally, sadly, um, if you know gospel, sometimes we are at that point now where it calls about being a soldier in the army of the Lord in many ways. Sadly, y'all know I work in religious stuff sometimes. Bear with me, but just bear with me. So that's where my mind is going, and I think we're going. It's like in many ways I can't. I refuse to be quiet. Um, and to be silenced in many ways, and come what may from that action. Um, but you know, the controllables are things you can control, and doing
Yeah.
the hard things that you find joy in, and the color. Like right now, it's all
Ooh,
color.
come on, color. Yes.
It's all color. It has to be for me, because not only because that's what I want to sew with and interact with and like play with in terms of fabric, but also because that's what I need to wear. I need people to know that I'm always going to be seen and visible. Not only for other people, but for myself. I need to know that I'm seen and visible. I need to see myself. I need to show up for myself in spaces because nobody else is going to do it for you. Um, so yeah, day by day, day by day, and
That's a
colorful project by colorful
theme
project.
song. Step by step,
Look,
day by day.
well, look,
I wasn't meant to hit those high notes.
it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. But also, we in the holiday season. Are you doing any holiday sewing?
You
Are you
know I'm
doing any
about to.
Thanksgiving sewing?
Thanksgiving sewing, I might. So I taught a class that was on how to do the mitered corners.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm not like I feel like I'm always such a very casual person. So I'm probably not the person who's going to like, use napkins or table runners and things like that because I'm a casual person. I like to
Right.
keep it casual, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I
I
will say
mean,
that doing them, I was like, this is cute. This is
It,
real cute. I like that. I like that. I liked how it looked.
see,
So who knows? I might make some of the matching napkins and a table runner or something cute like that, right?
come on,
Maybe
a
might.
little matching stitch
You know,
for the
a
holiday.
little coordinated situation. You feel me?
Get them
Um,
off the stew it on.
you know what I'm saying?
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
But I do know for sure because I definitely bought some terry cloth because I had planned on making some new like not exactly tea towels, but
Uh-huh.
like I want them to have the terry cloth on the one side and the nice fabric on the other side. And I was like, ooh, I'm definitely gonna do the mitered corners here.
Okay.
And then just have them lined with the terry cloth fabric.
Okay. Okay.
What about
That's
you?
cute. Right now again, so in terms of Thanksgiving, so hell no, because it's my birthday. So the my main sewing is to look cute for my birthday. Even though, am I doing anything for said birthday? No. I will be cooking because it's next Wednesday. And I don't know how I feel about it yet that I'm cooking for other people on my birthday. Um, I get, especially I was born on Thanksgiving, so me and holidays and birthdays, like, look, y'all going to celebrate me and know that it's my day too.
I know
You
that's
know?
right.
Um,
No, that's right, sir.
so trying to trying to I have not fully fleshed out. But I was thinking, especially because operate with the Burnett B79, I would love to make some embroidered like ornaments or like for
Ooh.
little like greeting cards. I have a friend who sends me a card every year. And I was like, I should send like I want to send one back. And just as a thank you for always thinking of me and sending me a card. Um, and I'm thinking about doing some type of embroidered card.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
or like like a little ornament or something like that, as as my little holiday, you know.
Yeah. I'm ready to actually get into like Christmas sewing and Christmas makes, but Denver is like, no, we are not moving into Christmas until Thanksgiving passes. So
So normally
I
I
feel
am
like because the world is
that's
backwards, I don't understand why I have to wait.
so that's no that's my normal is that,
Right, same.
but this year
We
that
fighting for
tree
joy.
that tree went up the day after Halloween.
I know that's right.
I mean we were together when I bought said tree,
Hmm.
and it was real cute, and it's in my dining room, and I'm honestly thinking about putting up more than one
I know that's right.
because we need joy. A lady in my office, when I tell you I walked by her office today and I felt I was in a, like you could smell the cinnamon and pine, and she got trees up and everything like that, and a little mat on her. And I'm like, if I was here longer in December, I would. But I'm not about to decorate for the office when I want to be at home. So
He
there's
said
that.
you're not going to be able to get any kind of office decor because this isn't where I want to be. So I don't
Right.
want to decorate and make it seem like I
Like I
do.
want to be here when I don't. But y'all require me to be here when I don't want to be. So, but it definitely has the thought crossed my mind for a hot second and then I uncrossed it,
Yeah.
you know, just like
Yeah.
no, the devil.
Hmm.
Um, but again, I would love to like doing some little ornaments or something like that. I definitely am thinking of there might be a lot more handmade gifts. I was looking at some patterns by Grassier Patterns. And they have this really cute knit dress with like a drawstring waist that's long. Um, I can see like some of my aunts and my mom wearing that. So
The fact that
definitely,
you sew for these people is like incredible.
and
I
I
swear
don't do it often, but
this
it'd be
my
easy
house.
stuff. The only reason I'm gonna do it is because it's easy.
Mm.
Beyond that, because Jesus. So yeah, I am definitely still I'm noodling. I am noodling over that option now.
Noodling over.
Because look, I mean, I gotta think about it hard.
Facts.
Um, but then also like I think I'm in the business of beyond just sewing for me right now. We're about to be in I have some things coming up that I want to do, including a class that I will be launching next week for sale
Hootie hoo. Listen,
on.
if you guys are like, say what now? Make
I
sure that
know,
when you are following Julian,
I know, yeah. But
um,
it'll be on my website. It will
yes.
be demystifying button-up shirts, a lecture style class. If there's interest, we might look at next year at the top of the year, something like that, doing a more retreat style, hands-on,
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
day or two class online. This is an online class, so be on the lookout around Tuesday or Wednesday of next week.
I'm very excited about this because you know what I'm making this week? The
What?
Butano button-up shirt.
Come on, come on.
And you know, and here's the other thing, and I'm so excited about this class because before Julian and I knew each other and became friends, I was deathly afraid of button-up shirts, except I love a button-up shirt. But
Hmm.
when you are pear-shaped, if it fits up top, it doesn't fit your hips. And if it fits
Right.
your hips, it does not fit up top. And I have a love affair with button-ups. I really do love them. I have been making them so often. But one of the people who made it, actually the main person who made me feel like I could easily do button-ups is Julian. And I would jokingly say to him, like, you'll make a button up in like an hour, whereas I'll think about it for an hour and decide against, you know what I'm saying? Whereas now I'm now at the point where I can, from cut to finish, probably make my button ups in about 2 hours flat. And I feel like a lot of that and a lot of the getting over myself and making it so that I was not as intimidated about doing my button ups has to do with you because I felt like I could do it, you know, because you made it seem like it was so easy and you took out the scary parts of it, right? Like it didn't feel like it was so unattainable. You know, just in talking to you about different button ups. And even when I was doing the panini button up,
Hmm.
the panini
Right.
pleated button up, Julian was the one who walked me through how to do the invisible button placket. Because I hadn't done one the way that she had done it before. And he was like, oh, yeah, this is just what you do. And I was able to get it easy breezy, you know. So I will say that make sure that you all are dialed in for when he makes this announcement. As soon as he makes the announcement, of course, our show notes will be updated to include the links as well. And I'm sure that you'll see us plastering it. So just sharing that tidbit
And
of
of course, now
information.
that I put it
You
out
guys should
there,
get
I can't renege on it. So
excited.
it will, I because we don't renege on nothing. So yes, that will be happening. Um, I'm excited. I am excited. Again, I got good at button nuts because I did not know they were hard when I started making them.
That's how I feel about sewing with knits. Listen,
Right.
we don't know what we don't know.
Right. Exactly. So I hope to share some of the I had the audacity that I learned
The
um,
audacity that I learned. I know that's right, sir.
by getting started like with them, just like, oh, what can I hurt here?
Yeah.
So I'm excited to share more of that um next week. Yes, next week y'all will hear about it. And the class we're looking at, I want to say it's the 14th of December. It's mid-December. It's the Saturday, like that mid Saturday of December from 11 to 1.
Awesome.
And there will
Awesome.
be a recorded option. So
Very, very excited about that, Julian. I'm
y'all pray.
very giddy.
Y'all pray. Y'all pray. But no, we good. We good. We got this. We do hard
Yeah,
things. We got this. And I teach. I teach. I do this. So
that part.
um yes. And as if y'all heard anything, I was ironing and stuff like that because why? Because again, we are focusing on joy and sewing is joy. So during our recording, I have been working on knit welt pockets, which once you get them, it's so great. Come on, Beret. Come on. Come on. Come through. And when y'all see this outfit, y'all will be able to really see the details, which hopefully will also be y'all will catch next week on Minerva for my first project. I
Not him
am, of
over
course,
here. He keep dropping these hot fire, just like you know what I'm saying. He's like, It's just a little bit of razzle dazzle, like pay attention or don't.
I
But like,
mean, it's up to y'all. I can only lead you to water. I can't make you drink. But my intention is to give a bit of, if you know designers, I am giving, this is giving Etro and Gucci.
mhm.
So if you know designers and you know Prince, that's what it's giving to me. That's what it's giving to me.
I like that. I like that.
So, which is, sometimes you just need a little razzmatazz in your life anyway.
Little razzmatazz.
So as
Yeah.
we as we do this, but um, what is your next project? What are you working on?
Well, of course, New pattern November, which
Mhm.
means that only new patterns for me. This week, I'm focusing on the Butano, like I said. I'm also doing the tailored trousers from BF Patterns, and this is big for me because this is like one of those patterns that has a lot of pattern pieces, and I was like,
Mhm.
whew, Chile. But I did just remake your pattern for Denver, and
Right.
um, feeling very empowered. Like I feel like one of the other things that I used to be very nervous about was doing like the button fly, the zipper fly pant. And now
Hmm.
I'd be like, oh, bet we about to put this in and construct the rest of these pants. Everything is awesome. Um,
Especially in a knit. In a knit.
yeah, yes,
Hmm.
yes. And he loves them so much that now I just need to get some more Ponte so that I can make him some more. Um, so I've got the tailor, I'm in a test for a bag because in my head I'm a bag maker as well.
Of course.
Um, and so actually the day that this podcast drops, the pattern will have dropped as well. And so get excited about my girl Rootsy, aka Talia's Threads, dropping her newest bag pattern. Um, so I have that, and then I'm also working on oh, I think I'm gonna I've got the Kanmani top that's by Perry, and she's a new
Okay.
pattern designer, and this is her very first pattern. So
Okay.
working on that as well. I get excited about New Pattern November because someone is addicted to buying new patterns, and this is the time that I really force myself to kind of fall in love with some other things.
Right.
And it has been it's been really amazing.
Hmm.
So
Good.
you know, I am just looking forward to it. I'm also I drafted a new pattern. It's a bag pattern that will be releasing to my Substack for the paid option, and I do think I'll make it available for a one-off purchase as well. Um, I actually did two. I did like a mini duffel bag and then like a mini shopper bag.
Okay.
Don't ask me why I'm into these mini bags, knowing that I am out here as like snack queen. You know what I'm saying? And I got
Right. Carrying needing full size purses. Full
right.
size.
That's what Rootsie's bag is.
Hmm.
But yeah, I really wanted to get another pattern in testing before Thanksgiving, but it's just not going to happen.
Hmm.
So, but for me, Vlogmas for YouTube is coming up, and that is it's a huge press for me
Hmm.
because consistency is one of the things that I struggle in the most major way with. So
Hmm.
forcing myself to show up in a format that has not been the most comfortable for me, which I've gained comfort for over a year now,
Right.
has not been is it's fun, but it's not been the easiest, right? Um,
Hmm.
I'm also really excited because I'm on the road to 10K for my YouTube channel. Like I need
Woo-hoo.
under 500 new subscribers in order for me to hit that. And I'm really proud of myself because Vlogmas last year is what kicked it off.
Right.
Raven said that she was going to do it, and I was like, I'm going to do it with you. And
Hmm.
right after I did Vlogmas, I became monetized. And from there, over the year, I've gained almost 8,000 subscribers, which is something that I'm really proud of because I have created content that has made people want to show up. And it has not always been easy. It hasn't always been perfect, but I still did it anyway.
And that's the thing. You did it anyway, even even when you didn't want to, even when you weren't comfortable with it, you pulled out that camera and kept it going,
Kept it
which is
going.
important.
It is,
Which is
yeah. And I think it's important because, like, for me, I've been pressing myself to get more uncomfortable on social media because next year I start back opening up my doors for coaching. This year I took time off from coaching, and so next year I'm opening those doors back up. One of the things that is an important value for me to have is that in order for me to coach someone else on something, I had to have already done it successfully. Like a lot of times I see social media managers out here who have like 100 followers, and I'm just like, okay, girl, like, what are
Well,
you
yeah, you want me to pay you to
right?
manage me, child, cheese.
Exactly. Or like we see coaches who haven't been in business for a year and
Right.
have not gone through an entire business cycle. Whereas I've been an entrepreneur for 10 years now, and I've gone through multiple business cycles. I've gone through multiple financial,
Right.
climates. And this year I want to focus on resuming being a content creator and, learning transitions and things like that, that I feel like help with getting my message across and things like that. And also positioning myself as being a subject matter expert in the field. So
Hmm.
excited about that.
Come
Uh,
on.
but yeah,
'Cause we experting, yeah. We experting. If
we are
y'all
an
did not know
expert.
this.
But
But
what about you? Tell me, Dime.
beyond right now, again, it is focusing on getting this outfit done. Because that is the thing. But it is working, it's reinvigorating. I'm working with a brand. I'm going back to my little vintage in my size and working in a brand that I absolutely adore, which is Stretch and Sew. So having fun, just kind of re exploring the patterns, because I had to retrace them out because again, stuff don't fit. Um, has been has been a joy for me. After this, I don't know what I'm making. I probably will get started. I really want to do some fun with embroidery. So like pulling out the embroidery unit, especially as I'm taking time off for work. So I'm like, how can I explore some different options there? Also got once now that things have calmed down and I'm in a better headspace, I think I can now pull out my drafting books more. And I on Instagram I did a live where I kind of read through one of them and said I
Yeah.
would try them on live. So I
Oh,
think that is something I plan to do. And like, just walk people through that process with me.
I love that. I love
Um,
that, especially because so many people have so many questions about pattern drafting. I think that'll be really, really fun to see.
yeah, and and demystify, especially now, of course, these are, if y'all didn't know, I collect books like I collect sewing machines. And I like
Same.
rare stuff and books that you cannot always find, especially sewing books.
Yeah.
Um, and it's hard to find usually pattern books that really focus on male pattern drafting
Ooh,
specifically.
yeah.
So these are what these books really focus on and stuff like that. And um, yeah, I'm gonna have some fun with them and see
Uh,
what we get
I'm excited
as I
about that.
build my blocks.
I tell you what, I am ready for more male patterns and I don't mean this in a bad way, but like looking at my husband's wardrobe is just, it's so abysmal, right? Because
Not abysmal. Not to give you the sads.
it does. And here's the thing, and he really be trying hard to work his wardrobe. And I love what he does.
Mm-hmm.
But there's I feel like we need to have more than just a basic polo, more than just a basic button up, more than just a jogger trouser, more than just a flat front. You know what I'm saying? I'm just ready for more, and I feel like I keep going back to and I forget what pattern number it is for you, but the one with the pink shirt and it's
Yep.
so
2018. Yeah.
ME20, yes. And I just keep going back to that because it's so different. It's so like extra, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's giving diversity. It's giving a different take on a classic shirt or a
Mm-hmm.
classic trouser, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now we've got an asymmetrical situation. We've got like a blazer style button up. And it's giving more than just what the basics that have been offered. And I said this in on my YouTube video when I was talking about the plus size releases for indie patterns, which did contain a lot of basics. And no shade to basics because everybody needs a basic, right?
Right. Of course.
But I gotta be honest, I feel like I'm basicked out. Like I'm trying to get some pizzazz. I'm trying to get, something extra.
Right. You want the
Julian
fashion.
shared exactly, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
not even anything over the top, but just something that gives a little je ne sais quoi. You know what I'm saying? That gives a little razzle dazzle.
Right.
It gives a little, I've got something more than basics in my closet.
Right. Right. Oh yeah, I get it. And I am that is definitely like that's what I enjoy sewing. So that is where I am trying to bring, even just for myself, I think. Now, no, I love a good basic too, because I think it's the way I do basics. It's the color, it's the print,
Right,
it's
right,
those
right,
things that that make my basics not look basic.
right.
But I also am I am a sewer at heart. I love to sew,
Yeah,
and give me a new challenge. That's what I find important. But also, make sure I'm comfortable too in the process.
yeah, yes.
So I think
That,
that's what I am focusing on, just even for myself, and as like from a design aesthetic is, if it ain't gonna be comfortable, I am trying to like do more upscale. Like, what can athleisure look like if it is not like if it was not athleisure, like if it
mm.
was af what like af ath Taylor.
Not you giving like athleisure reimagined. I'm here for it.
I'm
Subscribe.
I'm we're gonna try
Subscribe.
something. Just a little yang yang, a little yang
Listen,
yang around the
the little
corner.
yang yang is always gonna catch me. It's always gonna do me up.
I mean, we trying but that's like I feel like that's just where I'm at, and that's what I need. But honestly, like that's what like I want like we've all people have always talked about the secret pajamas of things.
Yeah,
I need more of that.
I
Like
like.
that is what gives me like I need to be comfortable, but also look good in it. I need to still command the room. How can I command and be comfortable? That is not in a suit that is. I mean, we can the suit as we know it, this which is actually called like a sack coat suit, started what in the 1860s. The tux that we know it started in Tuxedo Park in the Edwardian period, so like around 1890s or something like that.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is that it's now considered formal wear, but originally that was a casual dinner wear suit. That was for casual wear for the aristocrats.
I actually really feel like you were born in the wrong time.
Well, child, if I was born in the wrong time, I was born the wrong color too. I mean, there's that. If because honey,
Not
me in
you.
this color, I mean,
It's
I
like, what
wouldn't.
else am I supposed to say to that?
I, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It's late night. You get you get the
Not
you
it's
get the
late.
you get the full conversation of it all. But yeah, I mean, I like the history of it all and stuff like that. And again, I need to. I don't know if I'm gonna do my own little GoFundMe or something like that because I need a road to the Met. Who can help get me to the Met Gala, y'all? Because I
Mm,
need to go,
that's
or
a
at
that's
least
the question.
I need to. My plan is I need to manifest getting tickets to the Met Gala, or at least I'm going to go to the exhibit. That's going to be important, and my outfit's going to be amazing when I go.
I know we made plans to go to the exhibit.
Yes, because we're going to this exhibit. I'm going to see it. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to get my full ass life from it. But then also too, um, yeah, there's other places. I just like in this new year, as people are talking about, as Black women are taking their space of rest and finding joy and stuff like that. I think we all need to find those pieces. We did our job. We did our work. We will still do our work and do our job insularly, sadly, in many cases, because that's what it needs to happen. But also as part of that care for self, um, I need to care for self and need to
That
find
part.
places to find the joy to get what I
Yeah.
need. And I hope that you're doing the same. Again, I had a moment, I had to step back for a week. Now we're beyond that. We know, like, I feel like we have marching orders in many ways. So how do we get back to it?
Mhm.
And how does that show up? We now more than ever, the idea that sewing can only be about sewing and not bring, I had to bring my full self to it because I am a full person.
Exactly.
So as you're thinking about what you're doing, as you're working with your fabric, make sure that it's bringing you joy, but also expressing you. I think that's more than now, more than ever, that's what it can do. You don't have to, do not just constrain yourself to the basic beiges and colors and prints. Wear what the fuck you want and be excited about it. And if anybody dare to say something, y'all send them my number because I'm itching. I'm itching for fights.
Yeah.
I'm itching for.
He said my trigger finger is happy.
It's and sadly, and and that's not my normal. Juju usually don't come out, but Juju is taking over. And with that, find your inner Juju to operate in this world in. Don't catch no cases though, but
Not without bail money.
because yes, we ain't got that. And we ain't starting GoFundMe's for everybody or selling chicken dinners and fish plates.
Not
But
gonna lie, I will buy a fried fish plate. You know what I'm saying?
look, I'll support if it's good, if it's fried right and got seasoning. Amen. And not just lemon pepper. Don't do that. Yeah. But find, this is like in your life and in your world, how are you showing up for you, but also for what you believe and what you believe in? Is how you are walking through this world, is it really showing what that is? And this is beyond just something in solidarity such as a blue bracelet. This
Right.
is really about showing up and showing spaces and how you're using your dollars and who are you in connection with. Now more than ever is important, not
Yes.
only for your own like safety and sanity, but just it's just important that other people see that too. Those are the actions that need to be seen. What, like, and in that, be willing to be bold with it. In your, like, clothing and fashion has always had a political aspect to it.
Yes.
Now more than ever, how are you tapping in 2025? How are you stepping out? That's the question for you, and we would
That's
love for you to answer it. How are you stepping out in 2025 with your clothing, with your sewing, and with your fashion?
yeah.
How are you being audacious with it? Because that's what's going to be important. So as we talk about the audacity, how are you living the audacity through your clothing in 2025? That's the question, and that's the exit. Until next time, y'all, stay audacious, start thinking, start living, start acting out loud as needed. Until next time, y'all.